It's a new year, and today I'll show you what to do in the garden so you can have your best year yet. If you want a printable checklist of everything we're going to talk about today, grab your free copy at growinginthegarden.com. I'm Angela from Growing in the Garden. My garden's in Mesa, Arizona. I want to help you succeed even if you're gardening in tough conditions. After the holidays, it's normal for our gardens not to look their best, but now it's time to get out there and get things whipped back into shape. If you make one resolution this year, commit to spending a little bit of time in your garden every day. That one habit will have a huge impact on your garden. Start by going through each garden bed. Take a look at the plants. Are there damaged leaves, yellow leaves, damaged limbs that you need to take off? Cut them off and get them out of your garden. Dead plants? Cut them off and clean things up. As you go through your garden, harvest anything that's ready. Enjoy the things that you're growing. Keeping crops harvested encourages more production and prevents pest and insect damage from overripe crops. Do you have flowers that are ready? Cut some, bring them into the house and enjoy them. If you see any dead plants, cut those off and get them out of your garden. So I knew this cucumber was heading out. It's more of a warm season crop and it's been kind of cold. So I planted peas at the base of this plant and they are ready for the space. This cucumber plant is covered with aphids. It's time to make the switch, and the peas, they're ready to take over. By snipping off right at the base of the soil of the cucumber plant, I don't disturb the peas' roots. Carefully get this plant out of here, and then the peas can climb and take over this trellis. I've always left loofah on the vine to develop into a sponge, but if you harvest it when it's really young, it's edible. I've never eaten them before, so I'm excited to try them in a friend's recipe. I'll let you know how it goes. Next, add mulch to any spot that needs it. Don't worry if you don't have fancy mulch. Use what you have. Right now, my trees are dropping leaves, so I'm scooping these up and adding them right on top of my flower beds. If you're growing asparagus, now's the time to cut back dry stalks. After you get them all cleared out, spread a thick layer of composted manure on top, add some balanced fertilizer, and then top it all with your favorite mulch. Now your bed is all ready for spring. Keep an eye on that bed. Before long, you'll see those asparagus spears poking up through the soil. Fresh asparagus is so good. I cannot wait. While you're cleaning up your beds, don't forget about your tools. Give them a quick check, cleaning and sharpening, so they're ready to go when you need them. During the cooler months, it's common for gray aphids to show up on crops like kale and broccoli. I haven't seen any yet this month, but if you do, spray them off with water a couple of times a day. That should take care of them. After harvesting my kale, I like to make sure I'm not eating any of those bugs that might be on there. Soak those greens in salted water to help any hidden aphids drop to the bottom of the bowl before you cook or eat it. Plants in containers are more sensitive to frost damage because they can cool off more quickly. If a freeze is on the way, protect frost-sensitive plants by covering them with burlap or a frost cloth. The nice thing about containers is you can also move them to a sheltered area where they won't be damaged by frost. This little step can make a big difference on chilly nights. See if you have any seeds that are ready to harvest. This marigold plant is producing tons of seeds. If you planted wildflowers and they sprouted in tight clusters, now's the time to thin them. Gently pull out extra seedlings so each one has enough space to grow. Good spacing means better airflow, which leads to healthier plants and more blooms. For spring blooming flowers, try pinching them back now. This might feel strange, but it encourages the plant to branch out and produce more and longer flower stems. Here's a list of the flowers that benefit from pinching. Here are the ones that don't need it. January is a big month for roses. It's the best time to plant new roses, transplant roses to different spots in your yard, and prune roses that have been in the ground for more than a year. Hold off on feeding them until they start growing again. When pruning roses, remove any dead wood, branches that rub against each other, or canes that aren't producing leaves or flowers. Try to cut back about 1/3 but not more than half of last year's growth. Open up the center of the bush so sunlight and fresh air can reach inside. Let's talk about garlic chives. If you want to divide them, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, cut them all the way down to soil level. Add a fresh layer of compost, and then new growth will pop up in early spring, and you'll have fresh chives for the new season. For now, hold off on cutting back any of your other herbs. This is a busy month for fruit trees. Enjoy harvesting all that ripe citrus. Remember, the best place to store citrus is on the tree, so harvest just what you need for that day. January is the perfect time to plant deciduous fruit trees. It's also the best time to prune those kinds of trees. Why prune fruit trees? Pruning helps control their size, encourages strong growth, improves their shape, and can increase the size and quality of the fruit. If you want a healthy tree with big, delicious fruit, you have to prune them. When you're pruning, it matters where you cut. Let me show you the best place. Look for the slightly thicker, wrinkly area where a branch meets the trunk. This spot is called the branch collar. Make your cut just outside that collar. The chemical within the branch collar helps the tree heal and keeps disease from spreading into the trunk. If you're not sure how to prune, it's different based on how old your tree is. I have a guide on my website that will walk you through it step by step. Plan to fertilize your fruit trees in January or February for a strong, healthy growing season. Grapes need pruning now too. Grapes grow their fruit on wood that grew the year before. Pruning each year helps your vine produce better fruit. In the first couple of years, you're going to focus on building a strong base rather than getting lots of grapes. By year 3, you'll be set for a good harvest. Feed your fig trees this month. Give them a nice thick layer of manure, top that with some mulch. That's all you need to do to have delicious harvests from your fig trees. Keep an eye on the weather and be ready to protect frost-sensitive plants. If they suffer frost damage, wait until next month, and then you can remove the damaged part. January is often a wet month. If we get rain, turn off your irrigation system and let Mother Nature water your garden. If not, give your trees and shrubs a good drink once or twice this month. For your garden beds, watering once a week might be enough. Always check the soil before you water. If it's damp, wait until it starts to dry out. Don't forget to get your free checklist on my website, and if you're wondering what to plant, you can always check my guides. Let's make it a great month, and I'll see you next time. Should I cut? Just download your free copy. Okay, at growinginthegarden.com. Why is this hard? Okay.